Recently, someone asked me to make a strategy for the 1-hour Bitcoin versus US dollar chart. So I pulled up our multi-entry premium script and got to work. After I finished optimizing, I checked the strategy's performance on more than 30 crypto pairs and found that it works very well. So in today's video, I will show you the full version and the simplified version of this strategy for those who would like to trade it manually. Finally, I will show you the results on all the 36 crypto pairs I have tested this strategy on, so you will know what cryptos are the best to trade this strategy with. Hello everyone, welcome back to TradeSmart. Let's get right into it. For anyone who might not be familiar with us and what we do, we use TradingView to test objective rules-based strategies and then code the best performing ones into trading scripts. In today's video, you will see an example of it. Originally, I optimized and backtested this strategy on the Bitcoin US dollar 1-hour chart starting from 2010 until today. This means that this strategy is highly optimized for all-time trading history of Bitcoin. Let's go over the chart step, then I will explain the rules for long and short entries. First, open up TradingView and set up the 1-hour Bitcoin US dollar chart. The simplified strategy, which I am about to show you, consists of entry signal indicators, 2 filter indicators, and the stop loss indicator. First, let's go over the entry signal indicators. As you might know, using only one entry signal indicator for a strategy can give you a lot of false and bad signals. That's why with this strategy I used 3 different entry signal indicators to avoid as many fake signals as possible. These indicators are the 89 length Chi relative index, the super trend, and the no sure thing. Let's add these indicators to the chart. Open up the indicators tab and type in the first entry signal indicator, which is the Chi relative index. Add this one to your chart. This indicator has a color changing green and red line. The color of the line changes depending on what position the indicator recommends. If the line turns from red to green, it means a buy signal. And if the color switches from green to red, it is a sell signal. We have to change the length value of this indicator, so go into its settings and set the length value to 89. As you can see, this indicator gives pretty good entry signals like these, but it can also give some false signals like this. So to get better entry signals, let's add 2 other indicators. Go back to the indicators tab and type in a super trend. Add this one to your chart. This indicator is very simple. When a buy signal is printed, it's a sign to go long, and when a sell signal appears, it means to go short. No change in settings needed, so let's move on to the last entry signal indicator. Once again, open up the indicators tab and type in no sure thing. Click on this one. This indicator looks like a stochastic RSI, but as you can see, the lines are moving much smoother. It has 2 lines, a green and a red one. When the green crosses above the red one, it is considered as a buy signal. When the opposite happens, so the green line crosses below the red one, it is a sell signal. Okay, we have our entry signals. But how do we use the 3 indicators as one? One way is to only enter into a position when all the 3 entry signal indicators gives a signal on the same candle. Let's set up this option with our script. As you can see, the trade count becomes very low, which also decreases the profits. To solve this problem, we can use entry signal candle tolerances. For example, if we use a 3 candle tolerance, it means if the first buy signal appears, but the others have not been printed yet, we can still enter into a position if within the next 3 candles, the other 2 entry signal indicator also prints a buy signal. As I was optimizing this strategy, I found that the 20 candle tolerance works the best. So that's what we are going to use. Moving on, let's add 2 filter indicators which are going to help us eliminate losing trades. The first one is going to be a simple trend filter. So back to the indicators tab and type in exponential moving average. Click on this one. We have to change the length of the EMA, so go into its settings and set the length value to 100. The rule for this filter is very simple. We can only enter into a long position if the price is above the EMA, and we can only enter into a short if the price is below the EMA. Moving on, our last filter is the candle momentum with a volume weighted moving average. So type in the indicators tab candle momentum and add this one to your chart. Finally, type in volume weighted moving average and click on this one. Now you have to press on the moving average and start pulling it down until the cursor is in the candle momentum's oscillator. Once it's there, just release it. This way, the volume weighted moving average will be displayed on the candle momentum oscillator. Now go into the moving average settings, set its length to 50, and its source to candle momentum. Finally, switch to the style settings and change the line's color to white. Now open up the candle momentum setting and set its length to 50. The purpose of this filter is to only allow trades when the momentum of the price is on our side. So the rule for this filter is the following. When the blue candle momentum line is above the white moving average line, you are only allowed to take long entries. The opposite goes for short. So if the blue line is under the white line, you are only allowed to take short positions. Simple as that. Finally, keep in mind trading this strategy is only allowed on weekdays, so you can only trade from Monday to Friday. And the last step is to add our stop loss indicator. For stop loss, we will use the NNFX ATR indicator. So one last time, open up the indicators tab and type in NNFX ATR. Add this one to your chart. Now open up its settings, set the SL or stop loss value to 3, then switch to the style settings. Here, untick the buy TP, sell TP and the main ATR. Finally, change the remaining line styles to step line. This will help you to see the stop loss levels clearer. Now you have your chart set up for this strategy. I will show you a long and a short example to make sure you fully understand the strategy, then we will go over the 12-year backtest results. These examples are cherry-picked of course to show you the potential of this strategy. But don't worry, the full backtest will include all the losers and break-even trades also. First let's see a long example. Here is a possible long setup. The first step is to check when all the 3 entry signals give a signal for a long entry. On this candle, the green line of the no sure thing crossed above the red line, giving us a buy signal. So let's mark this candle as this is the first signal. Now we have to find out where the other entry signal indicators give us a buy signal. 6 candles later, the super trend has printed a buy signal. Finally, 1 candle later, the Kyrie turned green, giving us our last buy signal. As this is the last entry signal, mark it with a line. Now we have to check how many candles are between the first and the last entry signal. If the candle count is below 20, we are good to enter. Click on the measure tool and let's measure the difference. As you can see, there are only 7 candles between the first and the last entry signal, so we are allowed to enter. Before entering, we have to check our 2 filter indicators to see if they also agree. On the last entry signal candle, the price is above the EMA, so we are still good to enter. Looking at the candle momentum filter, you can see that the candle momentum blue line is above the white moving average, so all of our filters agree. Finally, we can place our entry, stop loss and take profit levels. The entry level goes to the close of the last signal candle, the stop loss goes to the NNFX ATR line, below the last signal candle. And finally, for the take profit, click on the measure tool and measure 48 candles. That 48th candle will be our exit candle and is going to be right here. So feel free to mark it with a white line, and after entering the position you can make an alert in TradingView so you get notified when the price gets to that candle. As you can see, this trade would have been a solid winner. Now let's go over one short example. Okay, here is a short example. Just like with the long entry, first we have to check the entry signals. The first short entry signal was given by the no sure thing. Let's mark it with a line. As you can see, the super trend and the Kyrie relative index are still giving a long signal, so we are not allowed to enter into any position yet. But 7 candles later, the super trend gave a sell signal. So now we only need the Kyrie relative index to print a sell signal. 1 candle later, the Kyrie printed a sell signal as well, so now all of our entry signal indicators are indicating a short position. If we check the candle difference between the first and the last sell signal, we can see that only 8 candles have passed, so it is well inside the 20 candle tolerance we are using. The next step is to check our filter indicators to see if they agree. Looking at the EMA, we can see that the entry signal candle has closed below the EMA line, so we are still good to enter. What about the candle momentum? The candle momentum's blue line just broke under the white line, so we are allowed to take a short entry. Let's place our position. Entry level will be at the close of the signal candle, but of course the real short position entry will take place on the next candle's open. Stop loss will go to the upper NNFX ATR line above the signal candle. We won't have a take profit as we will exit the trade 48 candles later. So click on the measure tool and check where will be the 48th candle. One last thing, the position sizing is always 1% risk per trade, meaning on every trade we are willing to risk to lose 1% of our total account balance. Of course, our premium trading scripts calculate this value automatically, making trading easier for you. To get access, become a Smart Trader tier member on our Patreon page. However, if you want to trade this strategy manually, you have to use this position sizing calculator I made. You can find a link to this calculator down in the description. And now, let's see the results. Here are the results for the 12-year Bitcoin price data. These results include trading fees also. Now you might think that profits like this compared to the profits that would have come with only holding Bitcoin are nothing, but keep in mind that this strategy worked on multiple crypto pairs according to their backtest and brought profits not only in bull but bear markets also. If we would have traded this strategy on multiple crypto pairs, the profits would have added up, bringing up the profits significantly. Now let me show you the strategy's performance on other crypto pairs. Here you can see the results for the simplified strategy that I just explained. I checked the strategy's performance on 36 different crypto pairs like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Curve, Aave, Polkadot, Cardano and so on. Here you can see the best performing assets. These results were achieved over the past 2 years. After I went through all of these cryptos, I collected the profit factor and net profit results in an Excel sheet. I ranked the results based on profit factor, so the best performing assets are on the top. As you can see, we were able to achieve even a 2 profit factor and 105% net profit on only one asset. Out of these 36 pairs, 27 were profitable and only 9 lost money. On the bottom, you can see the most important values, which are the average profit factor and the total net profit. With this simplified strategy, the average profit factor was 1.32 and the total net profit is 883%. As I mentioned earlier, these are the results for the simplified strategy. So now, let me show you the results for the original strategy and compare it with the simplified version. The original strategy uses a 2-step take profit with a trailing stop loss. This modification gives a smoother and more stable equity curve. Besides that, it uses other filters too. But they are more complex and not easy to use. That's why I created the simplified version. Okay, after I went through all of the 36 crypto pairs, I collected the profit factors and the net profits into an Excel sheet just like before. Now the best performer got 2.3 profit factor, followed by Link and Bitcoin USD with around 2 profit factor. The biggest single profit was 228% and was achieved on the Bitcoin US dollar pair. This strategy was profitable on 31 pairs out of the 36, therefore we only had 5 losing pairs, which is less than the simplified strategy by 4. The average profit factor is now 1.48 and the total net profit is over 1000%. Compared to the simplified strategy, the average profit factor is 13% better and the total net profit is 16% better. And that wraps up today's video. Let me know in the comment section what do you think of this strategy and what strategy should I create next. You can get access to all of our premium scripts and optimizations by becoming a Smart Trader tier member on our Patreon page. As always, thank you all for watching, have an amazing day and see you in the next video.